Zel Boy Army, what is going on? It is your boy Zelonius, my beautiful spicy friend here, Mr. Ainsley, back with another banger today. Last week we did how to attack with a 4-2-3-1. This week we're doing how to defend with a 4-2-3-1. Been getting lots of people ask me for more defending videos. Done a couple of this FIFA. There's going to be a bit more of an updated one. Talk a little bit more about how the current game works with the latest patches. I'm here to help you out, boys. I'm going to talk about the tactics side of defending, the stats you want on defenders, and then we're going to go into depth with some gameplay examples of how to defend on FIFA 20. Boys, it's going to be a spicy one. Make sure you stick around to the end. If you like this type of content, subscribe to the channel every single day. I'm going to be uploading videos at 7 PM, new upload time every day, 7 PM, boys. Make sure you turn your notifications on, subscribe for content that's going to make you guys better at the game. Appreciate you, boys. Let's get into the video. Okay, I keep going on about it, boys, but these are the type of stats you want for a defence. Keeper, get a decent keeper. Ruffier was better than Areola for me, so Areola was gone. I'm getting my weekend league rewards today. We're going to be opening them on stream. You'll have missed it because this video will be out 7 and we'll have opened them before. But if you've never watched one of the Zel Boy Army streams, every weekday, 3 till 7 PM UK time, I'm streaming. Saturday and Sundays, 2 till 6 PM. Link in the description below, Zelonius92 on Twitch. Check it out. Chance to get a lot more access to me. We've got a great community over on Twitch. Love to see you in one of the streams. Hopefully we're going to get that Firmino today. That 89 Firmino looks sick, and I'd love to try fit him into this team. But, defending stats. I want fullbacks with 90 plus pace. I mean, Mendy has 89, so he's fine. You can put an anchor on the fullbacks because I want a bit more pace. They already have 90 pace anyway. I want my fullbacks to be decent on the ball because almost part of defending is how well you keep the ball. If you keep the ball bad and you keep giving the ball away, you're going to have to defend more anyway. So you want people who can defend, especially at fullback, who can also keep the ball well, good on the ball, and then fullback, I don't think the defending stat actually matters that much. It's crazy, but it just doesn't. And then physical, I want decent strength, but it's not the be-all and end-all. Good stamina so they can ball up and down, and then high aggression. Aggression is one of the most important stats on FIFA 20, in my opinion, especially for defenders and winning 50-50s. So you can see like Semedo typifies what I'm talking about. Great stamina, great aggression, quick, good on the ball, decent defending stats too. And then at centre-back, they need to be relatively quick. I think 75 pace is about the lowest I'm willing to go for the most part. Lenglet is so good though for a cheap centre-back because he has 90 defensive awareness. I don't notice defensive awareness that much in general in this game, but at centre-back, defensive awareness is one of the key stats. It just seems to be how well they position, how well they gravitate towards the opponent, like their force field around them. It's hard to explain, but the higher rated defensive awareness centre-backs just seem a lot better for it. And then being good on the ball is a bonus. I like to have at least 3-star weak foot if possible. And then aggression's key. Lenglet is a little bit low, but for a cheap centre-back with the defensive awareness, it's fine. Strength's obviously a nice one too, but aggression does matter more. Like, don't be put off by a centre-back if his strength's not insane. But high aggression, that's what should be the priority before strength. Then good defending stats. The key defending stats are defensive awareness, standing tackle, and then probably interceptions. And pace is very nice too. You can't play a centre-back who's got really low pace, because no matter how good he is, he'll just get beat by through balls in behind because pace is a lot better this year. Then tactics. Let's have a look at the tactics. Okay, defensive style. You've got a few. Balanced, in my opinion, is the best to use throughout the game at the moment. It's just very good. You can still press with it. Your team still sit in position. I'll show you the way that I like to defend on this game. It's generally by holding my team in position, moving around with the CDMs, and then switching quick if they get to the box. Balance allows you to keep your team in the best shape, but also press. I like drop back for seeing out the game. I use it in my ultra defensive tactic, but like it says, your strike will stay passive, and you may find you have less attacking options when you win the ball. It's about preserving team shape. I don't mind doing that when I'm winning the game and I'm trying to see it out. But if I'm losing the game, obviously I'm not going to do that. Or if it's drawing, I still want to be able to press. You don't want to make it too easy for your opponent when the game's pretty close. Balanced is a great blend of everything, and then pressure on heavy touch and possession loss, somewhat similar. This one, press on after possession loss, is just a bit more extreme. I don't like using these because I think when you're playing against good people, they can exploit it just a little bit too easy. They are better after the recent patch. They don't take as much stamina, so you can do them more effectively, but I still think against good players with good teams, they can pick this apart. Constant pressure I use in my out-and-out team press tactic, because when people are seeing out the game and trying to keep the ball, you need to just go crazy. It's very risky, but it's also very hard for the opponent to get out of, so it's high risk, high reward. I don't like that this is even in the game because it's just a bit crazy how it turns your team into some ultra crazy like Gengen Jurgen Klopp pressing team, but needs be, use this when you're out and out trying to see out a game. The width, I keep it anywhere from 2 to 5. Generally my standard it's about 3 to 4 because I want to be able to still cover the wings but be compact in the middle. My width and depth here, my normal tactic, feels like overload ball side without the stamina drain. When you're going out to press, you need to up the width because when people are trying to keep the ball, they're trying to go out wide, so having higher width is useful. Depth, I made it lower than it used to be because I don't want to be making it so people can get in behind against me. It maybe makes it slightly harder to press and opens up the long shot, but long shots are awful on this game. Pace is a lot more strong. I don't mind making my press slightly worse because I still find pressing's okay. Okay, let's get into some gameplay clips. What I want you to note here when defending with the 4-2-3-1 is that the way I use the formation, the back four keep in shape. He's wide enough that if they threw ball it over there, he can just go there. So I use free width to try and make sure that it's quite compacted now, but you can still protect the wings. But what's key, the striker stays forward, so he's an outlet, but the cam, he will track back. You can mark this option, and then the three cams will track back, so he helps there, he's helping there. This cam will be around here. The two CDMs hold shape. It's very hard for the opponent to break them down because in the 4-2-3-1 you just cover everything. Look here how much space he has. Not a lot. There's not a lot he can do because I've got my back four here, then the midfield here, cover this area here. It's very hard for the opponent to break you down and do anything because in the 4-2-3-1, when you bring everyone back on defense, there's just not a lot you can do because everything's marked. It's so compact. The CDMs cover the edge of the box. When the CDMs cover the edge of the box and you've got a back four behind them, there's no space for them to break down. But the wings are also covered by your fullbacks and your lamp and ram. You can even bring the striker back if you want. But look there. Okay, he finds a little bit of space by going like that. But then he's barely got any space and the centre back's still there to break it, block it. It's very hard to do anything there, and then I get the ball and I've got all these men. When you overload the opponent with too many players, most people are not going to be able to find the space to break it down. The 4-2-3-1 with this tactic just brings so many men back. It is a nightmare to break down for your opponent. This clip here, just note where my team are. I've got the back four there. I've got the two CDMs protecting this bit here. He's protected that pass there. This area here, it's very hard for the opponent to do anything to break you down because your back four protect here, the ram's ready to cover there, the lamb's ready to cover there, the cam's helping the CDMs protect here. Where can my opponent really go? See, that's the cam there making the interception, and the team just holds such a good shape. It's very narrow, the free width help it be so compact, there's no space there, but the lamb is ready to track there, the ram is ready to track there, and when they do that, it doesn't make it too low width because they're covering the fullbacks. Then here, around the edge of the box, my centre back gets done by the drag back, but there, I think it's my cam, still steps in. It's just so hard to break this formation down. There's nothing your opponent can really do. And I'm going to show you some gameplay tips of how you actually defend, learning how to use the second man press, how to tackle, how to offside trap, how to position your players, but this just shows how the 4-2-3-1 is in game and how hard it is to break down. A lot of defending on FIFA 20 is about patience and keeping your team in shape. This was a game I played against Crafty, who's one of the world's top players. He's made numerous pro events this year, played in the World Championships on FIFA 18, has a very good team. Note what you see here. I'm keeping my team in shape. The back four are in the line. I've got my cams dropping back. And then my CDMs, Marcelo and Zidane in this game, I'm keeping them in position. I'm constantly switching. I'm going to do a video in the next week about how to use the second man press and how to press more effectively. I think that's such an in-depth topic that rather than add it to a defending video, we'll do a specific video about that. But that is something you need to learn. The basics of it are when that second defender indicator, you can see it there, just above the player's head. So you've got your normal indicator. Whoever this is above, when you press R1 or RB, that is the man who will press. I like to use that to get the AI to press for me. When they pass it and that second indicator changes, if you do not let go of the second man press, that player will keep pressing. But if it goes, say, to Marcelo, and then you press it again, he will then start pressing. That's how it works. I like to let the AI press for me a lot of the time, whilst I'm right stick switching. Around this area here, I will right stick switch. I'll use that a lot to switch to men constantly and move them into position, let the AI press for me, and then if they get to the box, I will use L1 to switch to the nearest man. That's how I keep my team in shape. Keeping your team in shape, defensive positioning, not giving your opponent an easy goal is so key and vital in this FIFA. My philosophy on defending is be as hard to break down as possible. If my opponent scores, it has to be either because I've just got unlucky, which can happen on the game. It's a football game, it's not perfect, we all know it can happen. Or because they've done something special. And let's be honest, most people are incapable of doing something special that often on this game. If someone scores a great goal, put your hands up and say fair play. But don't concede because you've made a silly mistake and got impatient. See there? I've kept my team in shape. I've got my 1, 2, 3, 4 defenders, one of my cams. My 2 CDMs are protecting this area here. The danger area on this FIFA is around here, the edge of the box and just inside it. If you can keep your CDMs right along here and protect the edge of the box, people are going to find you so hard to break down. When people get more chances, it's when you let them get past the midfield, and when they get past the midfield, it's just far too easy. So you need to do as much as you can to stop them getting past your midfield and getting to your defence. Keeping your team in shape, being patient, frustrate your opponent, force them into a mistake, because most people are too impatient that if you defend like this and don't give anything easy up, they will just eventually give you the ball. Here is a small one that it might not seem very obvious, but it is a key part to defending. FIFA 20, especially defending for me, is often like chess. A football simulator game shouldn't be like chess, but it feels to me a lot of the time like it is. You have to be patient. You have to think ahead. You have to outwit your opponent. You don't have to go for the jugular every time. By that, I mean going for the throw, going to get the ball back, instantly going crazy to go for a goal. In attack, it's about being patient and waiting for that right opportunity to strike and get a goal. In defence, it's the same, but being patient and waiting for the chance to get the ball off your opponent and score. Don't force things. I like to force my opponent into a bad position where I know he can't do anything but give me the ball. You don't need to go for the ball straight away, but if you're clever and plan ahead and outsmart your opponent, you can end up making them put themselves into a bad position when they will give you the ball back. So here, my opponent probably here should ball roll and go back there, because if you look, the nearest man on the radar to him is there. But I know a lot of people here just go down the wing and I'm forcing him into a bad position. When I force him into this bad position, it just makes it really hard for him to do anything. So watch what I do. I track his run here, because I know a lot of people like to go down the wing. He's probably there going to try go that way to get back down the wing, because he knows there, my right back's covering there, so he's in a bit of a bad position. But what I do, I cover the run, and I get a bit unlucky that I tackle him but don't keep the ball. But using your cams to track back and help your fullback can force your opponents into positions where they can't do anything but give the ball away. Okay, here is some fantastic defending, but then some stupid defending. And I can show you also some mistakes I make. I can hit 30 O's, I can beat top players in the world, but I'm far from perfect on this game, and I still make some stupid mistakes, and when I do, I will point them out to you because they're mistakes you guys might make, and I'm always doing my best to help you guys improve as much as possible. Note here how I defend. I'm constantly using Marcelo and Zidane. I'm using them to cover the space around the edge of the box, protect this middle bit. I don't want him to pass it into R9, because if he gets it to R9, he can do a scoop turn, left stick dribbling. R9's very strong and quick, and obviously got the 5-star weak foot. So I don't want it to get there. So there, he moves there. A lot of people there would have just dove in and tried to get the ball, but I didn't want to risk that, get beat, and then him get an easy pass into R9 there. So I'm covering this area. I'm moving there. The danger pass is there. There's no danger right now in him running away from goal. I'm happy to keep my team in shape and just be patient and let him keep the ball. You can see here, the second defender indicator. He's running and chasing him. He won't go for a tackle, but he'll put him under enough pressure that it's hard for my opponent to just turn and get an easy pass. Doing this is important as well because it stops giving your opponent so much space that they can just do what they want. So many people defend with their CDMs, keep the team in position, but they have no press whatsoever, and because they have no press, it just gives them too much time to eventually find space anyway. Using the second man press here will help your opponent to not be able to, well, not help your opponent, it will help you to not give your opponent too much space. See here, then I switch. I'm constantly just using the second man, switching who I'm defending with to cover these areas. I'm making it very hard for him. Okay, here, I do a bad offside trap. He was actually offside there and the game didn't give it, I've just noticed. Which is stupid, but that can happen on this game. Offside traps are great and a key part of my defending, but you should only really do them, one, when your opponent's facing away from your goal, or two, much further back than this, and it's obvious that he's never going to play through ball. Offside traps push your team's defensive line up, pinch them, and allow you to press. They're very good in particular when you're desperate to win the ball back late on and you're struggling to get it back. But here was a stupid offside trap because he was facing my net. I should never have gone for it. It's not the worst because I forced him wide. He can't make that pass there because I can cover it, and he's not really ever going to score from there at that angle. So it wasn't the worst. Sometimes, even if you can't stop the shot, if you can just force your opponent wide or into a worse shooting angle or position, that is enough. As I said, you don't have to literally tackle the ball and win it back. Forcing your opponents into bad positions can make a big difference. Don't use offside traps in dangerous areas. Use them to help you press, to push your team up, catch people out, but use them in clever positions. And then there, control your CDMs. Use the second man press to allow you to have more control over your team. Don't give your opponents too much time on the edge of the box, but don't dive in. Be patient. Wait for the right opportunity to strike. You can see here lots of patient defending. I pulled David Luiz out of position, but I've still got the CDMs in. I'm using the offside trap here because I know he's not going to through ball it, so it's just pushing my team up. He's not got any space there really that he's ever going to be able to get in behind, so the offside trap just gives him a little bit less space to be able to work with. Push the team up again. I'm just constantly using the CDMs to keep my team in position. I don't want the ball really to ever get to the striker, but still, my team's in a good position. And there, he tries to force a through ball, but because my team's in such good shape, he's never going to be able to actually make that pass through. You've probably noticed there's not really any clips about tackling. When it comes to tackling, you don't even need to press the tackle button a lot of the time. A lot of defending for me is forcing your opponent into bad positions where they either pass the ball into you, and if they try to tackle you, or not tackle you, they try to get around you, you just hold jockey, the L2 or LT button, and let them step into you. You don't want to be holding or pressing tackle button that often. Only press tackle if you're 100% sure you will get the ball. A lot of the time just jockeying and letting them move into you is more than enough. Here is a great example of how I talk about the tackling. Watch here. There you can see I'm controlling my CDMs, I'm keeping my team in position, but now here with Marcelo, because he's going there, I want to move that way. Watch what I do. I'm not diving in, I'm keeping these guys covering here, it's the danger area, And then there, he does a scoop turn, so I switch, because if I let the AI defend it, they won't tackle him. I don't press tackle there, but I just hold jockey, because jockey slows you down. It makes tackling, interceptions, blocking shots, all of these much better. But it's also great because it allows you to quickly turn. If someone turns when dribbling, jockey slows you down, allows you to turn quickly to follow it. But there, I'm holding jockey, so I'm slowed down. I don't press tackle. I let him do the trick into me. When he does the trick into me there, it makes a big difference and allows me to easily get past, not get past him, to easily get the ball off of him and he can't get past me. There you go. I'm going to show you a clip here from a coaching session I did with someone where sometimes with defending, it's not even that you defend bad, it's more just that a slight mistake can give away a cheap goal. This is a goal I scored in the session. Watch here. A lot of the danger on FIFA 20 is around this area. So my opponent here should be controlling him to move him there, or him to move him there, or even press the ball. You've got two options. You either press the ball to stop the pass or mark it. The gap here is too big, so it allows me to eventually get to the striker. You can see there, the gap's still there. When someone gets it to the 5-star weak foot striker, which everyone should have, at this point of the game, there's no excuse to not have a 5-star weak foot striker. There's so many great cheap ones. When it gets here, it's so dangerous because I can either turn there and hit it there, or I can turn there and hit it there. My opponent there, he just slightly overcommits. Here, you don't need to dive in and get the ball. What I talk about is, here, I'm going to go there. If he dives in that way, then the lines don't meet. He needs to meet me where the lines meet. So if he reads it and goes there, he will meet me at the end of it. If I'd have gone that way, if he'd have gone like that, he wouldn't have met me where the lines meet. He wants to go and meet me where the lines meet. But because he slightly overcommits and just predicts the wrong way, it's too easy to score. In this position, he should be, one, this gap here, make it smaller. Don't let there be too big a gap to get to the striker. And two, when it gets to the striker, which is very hard at this point, you have to try not overcommit and read the opponent and try and cut off the easy chance. There, most of the time, the best thing to do is cut off the near post because that is the best shot on FIFA 20. Okay, here is another example of a coaching session where someone's just slightly overcommitted the defending. Here, there's not that much danger. Van Dijk is so hard to get around if you just hold your ground. He is holding jockey, but he steps in too much. He overcommits. See there, he overcommits. He's there and ends up there. Here, he should just be, we'll go back slightly. Here, he just needs to protect this area. Whichever way I turn, just follow it with jockey. Don't do anything too crazy. Don't overcommit. Here, just follow me there. If I try and drag back that way, follow me there. Just don't dive in. But what he does is he dives in. He nearly gets the ball. But the point is here, it's too risky. He was never guaranteed to get the ball. As soon as he dives in, it just gives me that easy chance to turn and hit it near post. Not diving in, letting the player play into you, not forcing the tackle is important. Okay, boys, as you can see, defending, I don't think it's crazy the things you have to do on it, but it's more about patience, reading the game, which is probably a lot of the skill, and knowing the right things to do. Learning the second man press, we will do a video more in depth on pressing in the second man press in the next few weeks, but learning how to use that to control the middle of the pitch a bit more, not give your opponent too much time and space, not forcing tackles, letting them step into you, but also you'd have to balance the aggression and not giving too much space. Keeping your team in shape, you saw how I was using my CDMs to keep my team in shape. Don't do anything stupid. Don't give up easy chances because you get too aggressive, you get too impatient waiting for the ball. Forcing things on this FIFA is really a no-no. It's not what you want to do. It's very important on this game that you control the game, you be patient, force your opponent into mistakes, but don't force it by trying to get the ball back when it's not there. You saw a lot of my gameplay was built around patient defending, keeping the team in shape, and eventually the opponent will crack and they won't be able to get the ball. If there's any questions about today's video, please let me know. As you can see, the 4-2-3-1 is very hard to break down. Hope you enjoyed this video, boys. Thank you very much for watching.